It's Madden NFL 23, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Oh, it is a winter wonderland indeed. The snow is falling in upstate New York as you get a look inside Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
And we are underway in Buffalo. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football and doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Jones. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Throwing Jones. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both, and at the end of many games, This guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen setting up the screen for Cook. And he goes out right around the 39. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, they weren't able to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he is going to have the Bills 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Allen now looks to throw. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And His throw here's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Now Allen. He'll buy some time right. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Singletary, they'll run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bills' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
It's Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. Touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They begin with a run by Barkley. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 31, Jones. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Jones to throw on 3rd down. Looking for Shepard deep. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
I think this one went away very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Allen. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. To the air, Allen. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
They had a chance there to really build a nice early lead, go up a couple of scores, but he doesn't hit that one quite right, and it winds up in empty possession.
And New York set to take the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on the plays that we're calling right, the right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you, you got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Singletary. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Next receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Allen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
Facing second and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards you needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari. First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Now Allen. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Interested to see what they dial up here. Third and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Throwing now is Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up fourth down.
So on fourth down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. He's got a man, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one. First down, Giants.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He's got Bellinger. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Back to throw. Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good job there to kind of weather the storm in that first quarter and come back with their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to be coming from behind early on, but you're exactly right. They took some time, able to move the ball, and now it's back to a 10-3 game.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
New York set to take the field. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jones. Touchdown, Giants! Daniel Bellinger, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants are an extra point away from evening this one up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger.
Make plays, y'all. Make plays.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Allen's throw taken in there by Crowder. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. It's complete to Cook. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. I love that play, because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle 3rd of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Allen. He finds his man, complete. It's McKenzie. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Here's Allen to throw it. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills have taken the lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The New York set to take the field. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the second.
Well, let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you hit a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now can they keep that momentum going? Jones out to the right here to Shepard. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From the 38, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now Jones. Another pass complete to Bellinger. give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They start the drive with Cook, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On play action, Allen. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On play action, Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Allen. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. No dice for Sean McDermott and the offense. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So an interesting decision at this stage of the game to go for it. You think maybe that missed field goal earlier had anything to do with it?
If it did, I'm really surprised because usually one miss is not enough to alter your game plan. My only thought is maybe he got hurt Or maybe they just understand that it's not his day for some other reason we don't know right now. But in general situations, you run him back out there and let him have another chance.
Let's go, baby.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing, Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Hines now on the return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for the Giants. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they too didn't throw the ball as well as they would have liked. And I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground. This time, Cook. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From midfield, here's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Allen. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
From the 24, Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. One side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks him right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, We saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. As this offense takes the field again, CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Allen. And complete right side to Cook. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Now Allen. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Most famous one of my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Super Bowl, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Isaiah McKenzie from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From the 6.
Now out come the Giants.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
On 1st down, Allen being chased out left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he didn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Allen The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, it's Allen. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
The heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 and 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones got a man. That's Richie James. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 1 now. Back to throw. Jones. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Jamie Gillen down as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yards on the punt with no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and now it's 3rd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. It's complete to Diggs.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He'll find Diggs once more on the completion.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
From the 38, Allen. And Diggs has it.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And again, it's Allen. It's caught by Davis.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now Allen again. Throw right side, caught by Davis.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Flush to his right. And Davis with it left side. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
On 2nd and goal, Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Allen to throw once more. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Jamison Crowder, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bills are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A 10-play drive that time. And it was all capped off on the touchdown reception by Jamison Crowder. Touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And New York set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. Throwing deep for Galladay. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, the field goals probably are going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Bills ready to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Let's be smart. Let's go. They can't stop.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 3rd and 4 now. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now Allen. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Jones. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.